What is up, y'all? It is your boy Winston Wolf. I'm back. I just want to do a quick review. This is gonna be super quick because I only watched half the episode because I'm done with this show. This is garbage. I don't. How much longer is this gonna go on with Disney? I'm being serious. How like what I how I don't get it. I thought the whole point was to make money. Anyways, for the first 10 minutes, it's Nick Fury and his ugly old wife just talking in their kitchen. Who cares? Seriously, who cares? Nobody. I thought this is a Marvel show. You know, I remember, like I said, I never read the Skrull comic books, but I remember when I go to the comic shop, you would see on the cover it'd be like Sue Storm or Captain America or somebody like. I don't see any of this. I don't see nothing. For the first 10 minutes, Nick Fury and his ugly wife talking, boring, boring. Just the whole setting is boring. The actors they got is boring. Then after that, we get into Bucky Beaver again, and the leader of the Skrulls. I don't know what his name is. I try to block out as much of this traumatic waste of time as possible. But when I see him, I just think like, who wasn't good enough to get that role? Honestly, like, show me who they rejected, because this is. How does this dude get cast in anything? I guess that shows how low the standards are in England, to where, and just looking at like the other soldiers, the other Skrull soldiers, like all the British actors in here, except for Khaleesi, and even her, she's not looking. The more things I see her in, the less appealing she's looking. It's almost like that's either her without makeup or they're trying to ugly her up as much as possible in every single project she's in. Regardless, she's not the Khaleesi that we used to like watching naked on Game of Thrones. But just looking at all those British actors, like it reminds me of like when I go to like one of the bootleg sites and I'm just looking for shows to watch that I don't have, like any kind of subscription to whatever service. And you could just tell by the cover of certain things whether it's from England. Because the actors all look extremely weird and goofy, and the covers look crappy and boring and unappealing. And I don't know whoever did this show is British to the bone, unfortunately. But they should have had some Americans on there and be like, look, we don't like this boring stuff. We don't like everything being gray. We don't like these boring, ugly, weird looking actors. We don't, you know what I'm saying? Oh my God, this is just, talk about one of the most forgettable shows. One of the biggest wasted times. I mean, I've seen some garbage shows. But you can always tell who the audience is for. Like there's, like Dancing with the Stars or so. Like, I don't like anything like that. I think it's garbage. But, I mean, I know there's an audience for it. I understand why they like it. But with this, who is this for? Who just wants to be bored in every conceivable way? Boring visuals, boring story, boring actors. Pacing is terrible. I don't know, but so after the first 10 minutes of old Nick Fury and his old ugly wife, we get Bucky Beaver teeth again. And just every scene he's in is just cringe acting to the max. There's nothing worse than somebody who just thinks they're doing a bang up job, thinks they're super cool. The kind of cool where, you're leaning back in a chair with your arm over the back of it. Like, yeah, like he does that like repeatedly in the first 3 episodes I've seen. And it's like, dude, you're a goofy looking weirdo. You're lame as hell. Again, I don't know how this dude has ever even gotten jobs, let alone this job. Like, I'm telling you, they have some people that want to drive the stock of Disney down so low that have infiltrated Disney to where they're trying to ruin Marvel and Lucasfilm so that another company can come get it. But I'm going to tell you right now, this plan isn't working because it's going to be so destroyed that even when whatever your master plan is to wrestle these projects that we once loved away from this terrible company, it's going to be beyond repair. Because I don't know how something like this even gets to like existence. If you're gonna throw away Batgirl, and you had Michael Keaton Batman in it, and I know this is 2 totally different companies, DC and Marvel, but I'm just saying, if a company is like Michael Keaton Batman, just for that, people would want to see it. Just for Brandon Fraser doing Firefly, I think people, since he's having this whole renaissance of his career. I think people would want to see that. So it would have at least a few, redeeming qualities talking about Batgirl. If companies are smart enough and, they really want to turn things around enough to just throw that in the closet, pause. Marvel, you got to question who, and we've been questioning, but seriously, we need somebody who does interviews, some kind of journalist, somebody to really sit Kathleen Kennedy down and Bob Iger, I think he's the president, and all these other people, and just corner them and just be like, we need an answer for this. Why? Why is this continuing? Who is making these decisions? Don't just, gloss over these questions. Like, we need a sit-down interview where somebody can get to the bottom of this. And I want them with a straight face to look into the camera and be like, no, these projects are good. Actually, the ratings are high. People love this. Please lie to us. Lie to us. So a mob of us can just go burn down every single building you have that contains the masters and the hard drives with all this stuff. Please drive it that far. For God's sake, we got to do something. This is, and I know you're like, oh, this is stuff we grew up on. This is stuff that has influenced people that make art. All right. What do we have if we don't have that? I mean, look at how much Spider-Man has meant to people growing up. Spider-Man was everyone's first. You know what I'm saying? And things like Spider-Man, that can be the spark. It's like, okay, well, I want to get into animation. I want to get into art. I want to get into directing. I want to do this. I want to do that. And you know what I'm saying? And not only anything, Spider-Man related. It could like introduce you to the arts, and then you can find other things, singing, whatever. This stuff is important. So to have it destroyed for future generations that never knew how great this stuff was, it's sad. It's not good. It's not good. But so after the 10 minutes with Old Fury, Old Ugly Wife, in her gums, man, the lady that's playing Nick Fury's wife, I don't care if you're 70 years old now. You can still get that procedure done to get your gums shortened, because that's ridiculous. Every time you smile, just go look, you like gummy gum. But we got to deal with Bucky Beaver teeth, and there's a scene where he threatens the guy from Krennic, and Krennic gets up and grabs, or he's about to grab Bucky Beaver teeth, and then all the other scrolls turn into him. So there's like 20 versions of him. You stand up as if get your hands off of our leader. And that's supposed to be like some kind of badass scene there. Wow. So not only do we have one Bucky Beaver, lame cornball looking dork as leader, but then there's 20 of them. Oh my God. So then Krennic tells him to keep his daughter's name out of his mouth because Bucky Beaver threatens Krennic's daughter. So Krennic goes outside, and then he lets him go outside, then follows him as if to see where he's going, which doesn't make any sense, because if you have 20 people set up in the restaurant, whatever, I'm not going to go through the whole thing. If this sounds like rambling, I don't care at this point. This show sucks. Don't watch it. But if you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. He follows Krennic outside. After letting him go outside, why did you let him go outside if you want to follow him? But he goes outside, and then they have this tense music playing, and he's just looking around, and then a van goes by, and then what's her name is there, Khaleesi. And I'm like, what was the tense music for? Was it because you were looking for Krennic that you just let walk out? Or did I miss something? This show is just terribly done in every way. It's just an awful, awful, awful show. So then after that, I couldn't take it anymore. So I just scroll. That wasn't a pun. I scroll through the rest of the episode and at the bottom, because I'm just seeing, I'm like, if this is all it's gonna be, it's just boring British people and Nick Fury looking like a goof. I'm done with this show. So I scroll through the bottom, look, and it's just drab British, just for the rest of it. And I'm just like, there's no point watching this anymore, because I don't care what the ultimate, what could they possibly do unless they went back after the first episode and saw how underwhelmed everybody was with that first episode. It was like, we need to reshoot the ending of the last episode and put I don't know, one of the X-Men or something. There's really, and that's not even enough for me to pay attention and watch the rest. Like, all I would do is just watch the after credits scene on YouTube or something. That would be it. But unless something extraordinary happens, unless we get Doctor Doom, unless something like that, this has been an absolute waste. And I feel bad because I've been a fan of Don Cheadle since I was a kid when he was in Colors. And, oh my God. I just forgot it. What was it? Oh my God! Boogie Nights. He was awesome in Boogie Nights. I've been a fan of his forever. I just feel bad because as an actor who's been in quality projects, he has to know, like, this is garbage, but I signed the contract and I want to be a professional so I can get more jobs. So, yeah, just grin and bear it. I don't think he was in this episode because I fast forward, like I said, the whole second half because why? Why watch it? Why? But he was in the last episode, and you could just tell, like, that scene between him and Samuel Jackson, you could tell as far as Cheeto stuff, you could tell it was like a one-take Jake. He was just like, let's just hurry up, do this, get out of here. I got better things to do. So, Secret Wars Episode 3, the last episode I'm watching, unless somebody tells me, like, dude, this is something, kind of like how the first 2 episodes of Obi-Wan were kind of lame, but then the 3rd episode, Vader came. Pause. Unless something just insane happens. But it would still be Secret Wars. It would still be a bunch of boring, goofy British people. And it would still be Disney. 0 to 10 dog bones, 0 dog bones. That's the rating. It's garbage. It's trash. It's a waste of time. It's a waste of money for Disney. I feel bad for how many people have already lost their jobs at Disney because these terrible business decisions. And just look at the toys they have to play with in the toy box. It doesn't have to be this way. They're purposely doing this. It is the craziest thing, man. The craziest thing. Secret Wars. God, imagine how much of a mess that's going to be. Secret Invasion Episode 3, garbage. Don't watch it. Trash. Garbage juice. Chunky garbage juice.